Previously, on Rise of the Runelords. Tarnin awoke early, his sleep disturbed by a telling dream, and headed down to the bar of the Soldier and Stove in a huff. As the rest of the party rose, they found that Grelda had departed even earlier, leaving behind most of the spoils she'd collected, as well as a note. The note told of how Grelda could no longer be in the group if torture was going to be the kind of path they chose to walk, as it would be a road to much worse things. After an unsurprisingly quick discussion, the group agreed that Grelda had shown them the path they shouldn't walk and left to find her and return the heart of the group. Using a paper bird, the group managed to find Grelda just leaving an apothecary, and the group was joyously reunited. Upon returning to the Cambion Cafe, our heroes were met with the melodious sounds of the restaurant's owner, Mirabelle Cambion, entertaining the patrons with her flute. Sanishi, enchanted by the sound and inspired to better her skills at peopling, asked the old woman to teach her the ways of the flute. While Sanishi did her best to not destroy the eardrums of all the patrons at the cafe, the rest of the group went to speak with Justice Ironbriar. After recounting the day's previous events, Ironbriar promised to follow up on any remaining cult activities, and followed up with a job offer. Travel to the town of Turtleback Ferry and find out why there had been no word from Fort Rennick for weeks. The group agreed to think on the proposal overnight, then left to find one of Tarnin's old fences to pawn off some goods they've been accumulating over the past few weeks. With a bit of good-natured haggling, the group managed to earn some coin, make a new friend, and acquire a flute and set of drums to bolster the base kit of their budding bardic barbarian Sanishi. Today, the adventure continues.
Alright, so when we left off last time, you guys had just left Wild Widget's Wondrous Warehouse, where you fenced some goods and cake pans were not purchased.
That's right, we don't need the cake pans anymore.
No cake pans. So, you guys had just left, and that's where we will pick up.
I don't remember where we were going.
Whoa,
Does anyone remember where we were going? I forgot.
What time is it in game?
Let me see.
Evening.
Got up
Early evening.
yeah, I'd say about 5. We'll say about 5-ish.
We had discussed getting some of that beer if we wanted to, or we were gonna go meet up with Sanichi, I think.
Because you had left Sanishi, it's been about, say, hour and a half, 2 hours since you left Sanishi at the Cambion Cafe.
I thought we left her there at breakfast.
Yeah.
Well, because you left her there.
Mm-hmm.
You went to Ironbriar,
Mm-hmm.
and then
We
you went
the
to the
stables,
fence.
We went to the stables to pay off the horses being there. We went to the
Yep.
inn to haggle for a good week's worth of rooms. And then we went to Ironbriar, and that took some time. Then we went
Maybe
to
like
Ironbriar.
it's been maybe like 3-4 hours then. Because you guys didn't actually like wake up until 11 or noon. Because you didn't go to bed until 2 or 3 in the morning. So I would say, yeah, it's 5 o'clock, and I would say Sanishi's been there for about 3 hours.
All right, let's go round her up. Let's see if she's ready to go. We'll grab dinner there as well.
Alright, so as you make your way to the Cambion Cafe, you open the door, and you see that Sanishi and Mirabelle have barely moved. They're both still sitting behind the counter. Sanishi is playing the flute. Give me a performance check.
Holy shit! I just rolled a natural 20.
So how much is it altogether?
Let's see. Perform. Oh, I have a +1 already. So 21.
21. So the squeaks and just awful sounds you had heard when you originally left that sounded like a 3rd grade recorder class. You come back and it's not like performance level, but you can actually make out a melody and the notes are fairly close. So considering she's only been doing it for a few hours, it seems like she's been practicing for a few weeks. Like that's the jump she's already made.
Fucking prodigy over here.
Yeah, God forbid you roll like that when you're attacking something.
No, never. That will not happen.
She saves it for the important stuff.
Yep.
Playing a flute in a cafe.
Impressing Grandma What's-her-fuzz.
That's true. Maybell.
Mirabelle.
Mirabelle. I'm like, I have it written down. Like, where are my notes? Here they are.
Right, so the cafe is not quite as packed as it was earlier, but there's still about 2/3 of the table are filled with people. So there's 3 empty round tables, but it's still bustling, especially for dinner time.
Grab a table and flag down the kid's name that I can never remember. Or do we actually know his name?
I don't believe anybody's ever asked his name.
It's been said, though, in our
Wasn't it Razimir?
It was Razimir. I didn't know if anybody had remembered.
I didn't, but my book did.
Ah! There you go. Notes are important. Alright, so you flag him down. He does come over. After he gets done setting down a couple of plates, he comes over with his tray. Yeah, yes? What can I help you?
Drinks and food all around. What's on special tonight?
Let me see. There's blood sausage. There is crumb cakes. There is ham and bacon and apples.
Ham and apples sounds good. How about drinks? What do we have for drinks tonight? Anything new and interesting?
No, particularly.
Okay. What do you recommend that goes well with the ham?
Beer?
Sounds good. Let's do a beer. Everyone? Tarn looks around at the table, see if anyone doesn't want.
Yeah, I'll take a beer.
All right, I'll be right back. And then he turns around, heads off. What was that?
And a loaf of bread, please.
He just waves his hand as he walks off and then disappears into the back room. He's gone for 4 or 5 minutes before he comes back and sets everything down at the table in front of everybody. Then just kind of like nods his head and walks off.
Did you want me to pay him?
He didn't ask for anything yet.
Okay.
I guess.
So,
Oh,
go ahead, please.
I was gonna say while we're waiting for Sinichi to finish her practicing, Golda picks up an apple and starts like trying to peel it in one long curving slice, just for funsies.
Tarn takes a mouthful of ham, enjoys it for a second, and then says, "So, are we staying for a week? Or are we planning on taking off sooner than that? What do you guys think about this errand they have us running off for Ironbriar?"
So I'm game to leave as early as we can to look into this, but I think that we need to figure out how much time Sinichi needs. I know that this is really important to her, and I think that it's important to figure out how much time she needs to learn her flute.
I can tell you, if she continues to improve as much as she has from this morning until this evening, you don't need a week. You need a couple of days.
Oh,
So, instrument is going to take longer than we're going to have. So maybe she can get some instructions to what to practice on the road.
Bart, could you say that again? You broke up from her.
I was just saying, I think sticking around long enough to completely learn a new musical instrument might not be very practical. So maybe it would make more sense to just get some instructions to go so she can practice on the road and continue to learn as we leave.
That sounds good.
that makes sense to me.
Can I just say the leave call button should really have a pop-up to confirm that you want to leave the call, or it shouldn't be next to the unmute button. One of those two things would be great. We do need to return the rented horses before we leave town.
Yep.
Did we even have much of a sense for how much time Sanishi was going to need?
No, that's why we came back. We were going to see
Yeah, not in game.
Right.
You hadn't figured that out.
how
We
long
discussed
that wanted.
the side game,
Okay.
and anywhere from like 1+ days.
Question for Sean, out of character.
Yep.
Did we just happen upon Ironbriar asking us to go the same direction that the letter that we found went to? Since Turtleback Ferry was mentioned in both, I wasn't sure if they were both convening, or if they were like the Ironbriar thing is a side thing.
You did not mention the letter to Ironbriar, so they are. I would say they're separate. The letter mentions Turtleback Ferry, and without any knowledge of the letter or its contents, Ironbriar had asked you to go to Turtleback Ferry. It had actually asked you to go to Fort Rannoch, but Turtleback Ferry is the closest settlement to Fort Rannoch.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
As I'm gonna say, my playing's probably finished.
Okay.
Is that you guys eating?
Okay. Then you like as you get done playing, she just Mirabelle just turns to look at you as you kind of start to hand the flute back over to her. Oh my dear, I can't believe how wonderful you've gotten already. Oh, this is beautiful.
You're such a great teacher. I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you so much, Granny.
Oh, you're too sweet. You're full of crap, but you're too sweet. I appreciate it. You've just got a natural talent for it. What can I say?
It's exciting to do something other than kill.
Yes, it is nice to do something other than that occasionally, I suppose.
It's weird. I didn't know.
So, do you recall what I told you yesterday that, mentioning a mass murder when people are eating breakfast isn't the best thing? Mentioning that you are very good and enjoy killing people probably goes along the same lines as that. Just so you know.
Oh. Wait. So do people get nervous when I talk about literally bathing in blood?
Yes. It's not normal conversation for most folks. We'll just put it that way. Save that for your group, your close friends, but don't just tell the random stranger that you enjoy bathing in blood.
Okay. Oh my good, so many things are making more sense now. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I'm gonna go talk with my friends really quick. Would you? I don't know what we're gonna be doing. So would you? Could I check in with you when you're available? Check in with you and make further plans depending on what my friends and I decide?
Of course. If I'm not asleep or passed out drunk, I'm usually here, so feel free to flag me down.
Thank you so much, Granny.
Of course. And then she kind of slowly gets up from her stool, stretches her back, and like makes her way into the back room.
Okay, I'm gonna join the group now.
All right.
Like, hey guys, what's up? I can play the flute.
Grelda applauds. Like,
Not half
that
bad
was
either.
amazing.
Thank you.
That's
I had no idea.
impressive in one day. That's actually very impressive in one day.
Were you lying that you couldn't play the flute before?
No. No.
Make a
these
deception
fingers-
check. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, insight check.
These fingers were good for killing.
We did get you some presents while we were out today. Grelda hands over first the drum, just because it's large and obvious and would not have been hidden on the way in. Hands over the drum.
No, I was wondering why you guys had a drum. This for me?
We thought you would enjoy playing it and it could help you keep beats.
While we lay the beat down.
Yeah.
And then the flute.
Guys, it's beautiful. I should be able to train faster now that I can make adjustments as I see grade between them. Thank you. This is too much. This is too much, guys.
Grelda reaches over, hugs, thump, back thump, thump.
Thank you.
Could I throw in one condition on that? Could you let me out of? I mean, if it's really too much to get this, I mean, could we just call it even, and I don't have to take you goblin hunting? Because I mean, I gave you my word, and we got to at least have some kind of a trade.
I haven't even thought about goblins all day.
Insight check.
Grelda takes a gigantic swallow of beer.
I rolled a 6. I believe her.
Yes, I am.
So what's
I
your
am-
name and who are you?
My name is Ishi.
And you haven't thought about goblins?
No. No.
Feeling sick or broken?
No, I feel amazing.
That's really cool. That's cool.
Thank you. Thank you, Captain. Thank you, all of you.
But that being said, how much time do you want to stay here and continue to study?
Well, I don't know. Is there any reason to, do we have any reason to hurry?
Do we have a reason to hurry? I wouldn't say we have a reason that we have to hurry, but we have other opportunities available. However, yours kind of comes in balance with Icky wanting to go find out more information about what's going on with him. We got this whole thing with the snake's sister not being far off, and we were offered a job.
Oh,
However, Icky's already said that he's willing to wait. The rest of the group and I are happy to wait a few days so that you can get some study under your belt, or at least get some lessons in so that you know what you need to study while we're on our travels.
yeah, I'm not sure I feel like I could necessarily take off on my own yet. If I could have at least another day.
Absolutely. Take 2 if that's going to make you feel better. 3 if you need it. What do you need?
I do like. So Icky, just like, so Icky just like lays it out, saying like, the Justice Ironbriar wanted us to leave in 2 days to do this job. Do you know if you need more time? Because if you need more time, it seems like we're all willing to give it to you.
I think 2 days sounds good, and then yeah, back on the trail, and who knows, I might get my blades might get dull. Can't let anything, I need to stay sharp in all my forms. So yeah, okay. If we could wait 2 days, if that's the expectation set for this quest, if I could have 2 days to practice with Granny, and then head out for a quest, that'd be fabulous.
Done.
Now what we need is a training montage. That just shows
Montage!
Okay, well, we've got you some dinner. Have a meal, have a beer. All that we've really got coming up tomorrow is either Justin Ironbriar, where I don't think it's gonna be him, or our page is gonna come meet with us. All of us, somebody will go back up to there, get the details on travel, and perhaps collect a little bit more reward for the work we've done recently here in town. Make sure that gets divvied up, and take your 2 days, 3 days, 2 days, do what you gotta do. Who's doing that?
I say I'm hearing an echo.
I thought someone was deliberately playing bad flute playing. That's what I thought that was.
It is
Oh.
Jill.
It was 100% me slowly pulling up the volume on 3rd grade beginner recorder class video.
See, that's what it sounded like when everybody left. All right. So, what are you guys doing?
I'm gonna ask Granny Mabel or Mirabelle if she can train me for, the next 2 days.
All right. So, oh, what's up? Somebody else? No. Okay. Mirabelle is back behind the counter now. So you get up, walk over to her.
Hey, Mirabelle. I was wondering if you could train me for the next 2 days before we go off on our next adventure.
Well, let me see. What? 2 days? My schedule is so full. I'm not sure. Yes, fine. Yes, you can. I'll be here. You can be here too, and I can train you up, make you even better.
I have my own flute now too, and even a drum.
Oh,
So
look at you getting all fancy on me so quickly.
my friends just got them for me. It was very unexpected.
Aw, they're so sweet.
They really are. I don't know what I did to deserve them.
Aw. Yeah. There's dust in here. I'll be right back. And she just turns and, well, allergies. I'm sorry. It happens all the time.
I understand.
So yes, I can. So you'll be leaving in 2 days, you say?
Yes. We are apparently going to be checking out what's happening in the Turtleback Ferry area.
Ah, make sure you take a ride on one of their ferries. They're interesting little turtle shells. They're very odd, but odd is good. So, if you're going to be leaving in 2 days, I guess I can train you for that time, and then I could put together a little book for you to take with you to practice, so you can keep your compatriots roused with your wonderful flute playing constantly without stopping.
Perfect. That they are going to love it.
I'm sure they will.
Oh,
All right. Well, so that's my plan then for the next 2 days.
All right, we'll come back tomorrow and we'll make a day of it.
Awesome.
All right. Now I need to go whack the little bastard with my stick. He's not moving quick enough. Have a good evening. And then she walks around, goes into the kitchen, and you just hear, ow! Ah! I'm sorry! And then he comes running out with a tray.
Can she join our party? Like,
I
I
know.
love her so much.
I love her so much.
Yeah, she's at least at the level of Bethalda in my book,
Bathana.
or Bethana.
Yeah. Well, if I didn't have one motherly figure to hound you guys, I had to create another. All right, so she's in the back room. So Sanishi heads back over to the table.
Head back over to the table and start eating. Take some of the bread, some of the stuff that's already out there.
All right. So is there anything else that you guys would like to do this evening? No?
Not yet. Not this evening. No.
Okay, because
Can you remind me how long does it take as a wizard to learn a spell and copy it into my spell book?
it is due to copying your spellbook. It is per level. I think it's either 1 or 2 hours per level, and it's like 50 gold a level or something like that. Let me double check.
Oh yeah, I forgot the characters tab.
Yeah.
It's good use time.
Sorry, I have it from a spell scroll with me, but not. It is 2 hours and 50 gold per spell level. Actually, I did write it down. This represents the material components needed to master the spell, so the time and then the amount of money you take just learning the complexities of that spell. So yeah, whatever the spell is, 2 hours per level, and then 50 gold per level. Because if there's nothing in particular everybody wants to do this evening, we don't need to roleplay the whole evening. You can just you finish up your dinner, you end up going back to the inn. Everybody kind of chills, hangs out. What time would everybody what would you want to do once you end up going up to your rooms? What time would you want to start to head to bed?
During dinner, Tarnan is going to be paying attention to a few things. Whether or not the rest of the group notices, he's not trying to make it. He's trying to do it on the fly, like people aren't going to be able to notice it. He's pretty much getting Grelda's measurements. Just looking, observing, watching from the side, whatever else he has to do to make sure that he's got a really good idea what her measurements are. Kind of like that every once in a while, or whatnot. Just very subtle. Making sure he has to see Nishi's flute a couple times, handles it, and is also memorizing the size and shape of that. He's also watching when every time Icky takes a drink, he's looking to see how his hand, his claws, would be better served holding a stein. If the stein was slightly modified to, look and be fitted well to fit to his specific claw and his maw. Because I'm sure trying to sip out of it with that beak has got to be a pain in the ass. But what if it was modified somewhat? All right, and he's doing this as
Is that worth modifying his beak for? I don't know.
I'm sorry, say again?
What was that
Modifying his beak.
Not modifying his
I
beak. No.
don't know if it's worth modifying his beak just to drink beer a little easier.
However, I would really like this to be the place where Tarnan invents the straw.
No, not today.
All right, but you are, because unless anybody decides that their character is paying extra special attention, I would assume it would just be part of, nobody would see it as anything out of the ordinary.
Okay.
Zelda has been watching Tarnan all day, but she would have no clue why he's acting a little bit weird. But before we left the wherever we were all hanging out and all this was happening, she would ask him if he was comfortable sleeping in town tonight or if he would like to sleep outside of town.
Drake, would you please call the cat? In fact, would you be so kind as to feed them for me? Thank you. Thank you. Apologies. I appreciate the offer. I really do. I would like nothing but to get out of this town as soon as possible. But that being said, there are a few self-implied tasks that I need to accomplish tonight. I promise it's nothing too dark.
Do you want any help?
No, not this time.
All right.
Not this time. But I will meet you guys, if not later tonight at the inn, then in the morning for sure I'll see you.
All right.
Good luck with your tasks.
Thank you. Dinner's on me. He drops a gold. And I'll see you either later tonight in the Barroom Tavern, or I'll see you in the morning. And he gets up, gives a subtle bow, and spins on his heel and walks out.
Okay.
John, in a city this size, would there be, I don't know, like a shop that has like magic spells and stuff? I don't know what that would be called.
Like you might be able to find, you would be able to find an arcane store or two. Magic items aren't. They're still slightly rare, but they're not like they're not extremely rare, but they're not common. So they're in a city, in the second largest city on the continent. There might be a couple of stores, but it wouldn't be more than that.
Lars, does Geisen have a reasonable amount of money to do any spell memorizing stuff that he needs to do?
I think I do, because we found like tons of money in the last few sessions that I played.
Okay.
Yeah, that heist, I think everybody got $1,000 or 1,000 gold.
Yeah, we haven't been divvying like completely fairly because none of us care, like are worried about the other characters. But Grelda is carrying quite a lot, so like if anyone was low, I would want to make sure everyone had money for doing the town stuff.
I'm still carrying quite a bit too, because we found a bunch in that tower, the Snake Lady's tower.
Oh. Okay. Yep, and I think for the spell, for the stuff for the spell, I think it's just like paper and ink. So you don't need anything super exotic.
Okay.
That is a lot of paper and ink.
Yep.
It's a lot of spells to spell out.
Well, basically, like you're practicing the spell, you're practicing putting down the runes on the page, and every time you make a mistake as you're learning it, you would need a new sheet, and that's why it's so expensive, because it has to be like pristine when you put everything down. So that's why it's so expensive, because you're going through a lot of sheets, because you'll mess up a lot over those couple hours or however many it takes. All right, so Tarnan is doing something this evening before he goes to sleep. Is anybody else planning on doing anything the evening?
Grelda would like a bath and to use her hair products properly.
Ah, yes. Okay.
Was the bath part of lodging where we were?
I believe it was negotiated as part of your week stay that you paid for, if I remember correctly.
Works for me.
All right, Sinishi.
I'm gonna try to practice a little bit, but turn in for the night early, like 9.
Okay.
Get an early start, considering it's a breakfast place.
Okay. Grelda, what time are you gonna bed down, just so I can?
She would probably hang out with Icky for a while, drinking, unless Icky was doing something else. So I imagine we might give up around 11 or midnight.
That's about what I was thinking.
Cool.
Okay.
What is it as we leave dinner?
Well, I would say you left the Cambion Cafe. say about 6. And throw that out there.
And would stores still be open at that hour?
I guess it depends on which kind of store. Most stores would be open at 6, but like the general stores would probably end up starting to shutter in the like 7, 8 o'clock once the sun started to go down.
Okay. Gyson's gonna go look for an arcane shop.
Okay. Are you looking for anything particular, or just your spell, the stuff for the spell?
The stuff for the spells, and then also if they have like spells, like scrolls or however, I would purchase spells.
Okay. All right. Hold on a second. Give me an investigation check really quick.
Oh, that's not good. 10.
10? Okay. It does take you the better part of an hour. Between wandering around and like asking the random person when you like get frustrated. It does take you about an hour. You do end up at as you make your way along one of the streets, you see a small sign hanging. It's got a like a cauldron, and it's called and you see the name of it is the Bubbling Lab. And then you head inside, and inside it is a fairly small shop. There's actually only as you enter on the left, there's one kind of table with two. There's like a small silver box and then a small dagger sitting on it, and that's really the only thing out on display. Otherwise, there is a counter directly opposite of where you enter, and bent over is a small halfling woman. She looks fairly young, probably probably about 30 or so, and she has a pair of goggles on, as she is bent over a small, 2 small flasks that have just like the steam rising out of them, and she's got very short red hair that's kind of sticking out in all directions. And as soon as you come in, she just kind of peeks her head up. Yes, how can I help you?
Hi. I was wondering what you have for sale.
Well, we've got lots of things. What do you want?
Do you have any spells?
Like scrolls? Or you want me to cast a spell? You want me to put a spell in something? Or would you like?
Like a spell scroll.
We've got a few. Oh, anything you're looking for in particular? And she hops down, and then you see her just you hear some bustling underneath, and then she pulls up this just wooden crate and like drops it on the top, and it's got about 15 different rolled up scrolls inside of it, and then she hops back up on her chair, pushes her goggles up to her forehead. So, what do you want? I've got a few things here.
Dyson knew what he wanted when he ran in, but I forgot which one I was looking for.
Which specific spell? Do you remember what level the spell is?
4th.
4th? Alright, then let me... Alright, let me know when you find out what the name of it is. All right. Well, while Lars is thinking of that, Bill, what's Tarnan doing? Lars, let me know when you come back up with that.
You mind if I call you real quick?
Is this?
I was trying to text it all down, but it's a lot.
Is this something that is going to come to fruition in this session?
I'm hoping so.
Why don't we wait till break?
Okay.
Actually, Lars, are you still digging for it?
I had like a couple that I was choosing between when I leveled last time.
We can take 5 if you need it. It's been about an hour. All right, so or did you figure out the spell specifically you were looking for at the shop?
Yeah. So I asked her if she has banishment.
Banishment. And then what level is that?
4th.
It is a 4th level spell. Okay. Hold on a second. ABALYZ 4. Okay. And then she pulls it out. Like, yes, I do. It's right here. And then she just starts playing with it and twiddling around as she's going back and forth. Is it it? Is this what you want right here? This it? You want anything else? You want me to look in the back for something?
That looks like what I want. How much is it?
This? Ooh. Oh, this is a good one. This is a really good one. This is a really good one. This one. This will be 2,500.
Wow.
This one. Then she just takes it and kind of spins it on her finger for a second, then pops it back down. This one. It's really good. Totally worth it. Oh my goodness. It's worth double that. So that 2,500. That's nothing. Don't worry about it. Just take it. You'll good.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to pass, but.
But are you sure? It's good. It's really good. Look at it. And then she spins it on her finger one more time. Look at that. And then she pulls it back down. You know you want it. Come on.
I'm sure it's good, but it's not 2,500 good to me.
Some people. I just don't understand. Then she puts it back in there and just drops the crate right next to her. Is there anything else?
Well, while I'm here, I'll pick up some. Do you have
Some what? I'm sorry.
paper?
Oh, okay.
Ink or whatever, just like the supplies that I need.
Paper, ink. All right, we can do that. How much do you want?
Well, so if the 50 gold is like
the 50
standard,
gold would be the paper and the ink. So
does that mean that that's like the standard price everywhere or whatever?
yeah, well, you would need 50 gold worth of paper and ink to do it. So I mean, that would be the standard. That would be what you would ask for, regardless of where you went to. It's not the quality of the paper and ink doesn't so much affect that.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to buy enough for like 4 spells.
4 levels worth, so 200 gold's worth.
Oh, it's by level, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 50 gold per level. So you would just need to figure out how many total spell levels you would want, and then purchase that much.
I'll buy 10 levels worth then.
Oh wow! So 500 gold.
Can you carry that much stuff?
I guess that how much stuff is
Yeah,
that?
that's fine.
Okay.
All right, so then Lars, mark off 500 gold, and then you have 500 gold worth of paper and ink. Okay, so is there anything else that Geisen wants to do this evening?
Dyson would head back to the inn and take the stuff to his room and I don't know. I guess if we're planning to stay here for the next couple of days, I guess there isn't a huge rush, so I would go down and have a drink with everybody.
Okay, so you would be having a drink with Greldon, Icky. Tarnin's out doing his stuff that we talked about. Is there any conversations or role playing that you guys would like to do while you're drinking, or otherwise we can just cut to sleepy time and then you guys waking up the next day? But it depends on if there's any conversation you guys want to have in character.
I'll probably head to bed fairly like around 10 maybe.
Okay. And then okay.
Icky would just before heading to bed make a comment to Grelda about how he was like, you just be like, I'm sorry things got out of hand. Thanks for bringing us back to center. We're gonna stay here.
And we're gonna figure out what's going on. And she raises a beer.
Cheers. All right, no, that's it.
All right.
That's Ricky.
Then I would say Sanishi wakes up about 5 or 6 in the morning. Geisen is right about 7. And then Grelda, Icky, and Tarnin all wake up around 8.
When I wake up, I'm gonna, leave them a note saying that I've gone to continue my practice and just head over there, nice and early.
I'm sure after what happened yesterday, a note on the floor to wake up to is not going to freak anybody out.
No, not at all. Well, it's just
that's fine. Okay, so then everybody else wakes up.
Don't practice your peopling.
It's just a reminder that I'm off learning the flute.
Yas, flute.
Oh.
Smart enough to remember I should leave a note.
Okay, then Grelda wakes up to find the note on the floor. Everybody, the boys wake up. All right, so now that we're back, now that everybody wakes up, Sanishi's out. Unless you guys already talked about this while I was gone.
Nope.
We'll pick up there.
So that would have been smart in planning ahead.
Yeah, why would we do that?
We don't do that stuff here.
No reason.
All right, so we're sitting in the common room. At some point, everyone wakes up, comes downstairs, except for Sanishi, who took off really early, left a message. And basically, we're sitting around because I believe we're supposed to have a visitor stop by to tell us what Ironbriar found, or if he wants us to go back up there, or whatnot. We told him where he could find us.
Mm-hmm. Sounds right to me.
Is that right, or did you guys say you were going to go visit him? I honestly don't remember.
I don't.
We told him where to find us.
Okay. Then let's say, okay, so everybody is down in the common room at about 10 in the morning. All right.
Sure.
Wait, I thought you said 8.
That is what time Sanishi woke up at 7. Oh, no, you're right. I'm sorry. I have it written down here. Yes.
Okay.
So everybody would be down in the common room, we'll say like 8:30-ish. Around that time, you're downstairs, you're eating breakfast, you're just kind of hanging out. And then the door swings open, and that little halfling boy that had been running the letters back and forth comes in, sees you, runs up to the table, and just like slides a note, and then backs up to the door and just kind of stands there and waits.
Okay, I open it up.
All right. It is it's high quality parchment. It's written in flowing script, and it says, seems like your story checks out. I hope you've had time to think about my offer. I would love to speak with you again. And it's signed Justice Ironbriar.
Stand up, flip the kid a copper, and say, let him know we're on our way.
Okay. He catches the copper, just kind of like nods his head, and then turns around and runs out his little legs. Just.
Sounds like a spider. Get him.
And off we go. Anyone have anything to say before we go?
Icky's game to do what we said we would do.
Fantastic. Let's move out. Let's go talk to this guy again.
Grelda takes up the rear for no reason whatsoever, but have it.
All right, then you make your way to the Hall of Justice. You end up entering. You have the three raised desks. All 3 are actually empty. There's only a couple people milling around inside, not as nearly as many as there was yesterday. And there are the same 3, very elderly gentlemen, well dressed, just kind of scribbling in pieces of paper sitting in front of them.
Tarn walks up to the one that's least busy, or the fastest moving line, whichever he perceives.
Okay.
Waits his turn, clears his throat gently, presents the letter.
You read the gentleman just kind of makes a harumph sound, pulls the paper from you, kind of looks at it, looks at you, looks at the 4 of you, folds it back up, writes something on the outside, hands it to the same little halfling boy who runs off. Yes, if you'll just back up a second, he will return momentarily. And then he just goes back down and starts writing. A couple minutes later, halfling boy runs back, hands him the piece of parchment, he opens it up. Yes, Ironbriar is waiting for you. You may follow the child. And then he kind of shoos you off and then goes back down and starts writing again. And then the halfling boy just kind of backs up and waves you on.
While we're walking down the echoey hallway,
Mhm.
Grelda leans over and attempts to whisper, but since it's an echoey hallway, I'm sure it's not terribly successful to Icky. That seems really inefficient. Doesn't this seem really inefficient to you?
The halfling boy in front of you kind of looks back really quick, shakes his head and looks forward, and then continues to lead you on.
As we move along, Iggy leans back over to Grell and says, and similarly, like trying to whisper but totally ineffectually, the boy seems to like it, so.
I'm picturing Wings doing that shrug right now, and it's wonderful.
Do they go out each time you do the shrug?
Yeah, just like.
Alright, so then you make your way to the door. The halfling boy just kind of holds up his hand for a second, opens the door, peeks inside, and then pushes it open and waves you in. And then as you all step inside the room, you see Justice Ironbriar wearing the same kinds of robes he was wearing the day before, leaned over his desk, just kind of like his finger tracing along a map, and he just looks up, just, if you'd close the door. Then he stands up, puts his hand behind his back. So, I did send out some Crown's Guards to the Shadow Clock yesterday, and your story was not exaggerating the creature. So, everything we found says that everything you've told me was true, and I appreciate the work you've done for the city of Magnamar, and I think you might appreciate the news that there was not a single murder yesterday. So that's first time in weeks that we have not had to deal with this particular cult. So I have my fingers crossed, my prayers made that you've stopped whatever it was. Speaking of that, have you had a chance to think upon my offer?
We have, and we have decided we will accept. We will not be leaving until not tomorrow, the following day, midday perhaps. But yes, we will.
It needs to be tomorrow if you're going to leave. The ferry travels from Magnamar to Totobek Ferry and back. And it leaves tomorrow and will not be back for...
What time?
Usually heads out around 9 or 10 in the morning tomorrow morning. That's why I had a time in mind, because it leaves and it will not return for at least 2 weeks. So I hope you can leave tomorrow. If not, if this is not the job for you, I do understand. We'll have to look elsewhere, because I need someone on that boat.
In the interest of service, we can make it work.
That is good to hear, especially with your quick work of a previous issue. It is good to know that you are on this particular job. And with the questions and issues you raised yesterday, I did have this written up for you, and he hands you a rolled up scroll. This should alleviate any concerns about people not helping you the way you need to on your job. It's signed and marked by me. It's not going to give you special permission, but it should allow you to be treated the same way a Crown's Guard would if I were to send somebody out there.
Fair enough. Not to be improper, but we did also discuss coin for services already rendered.
Yes. Yes. I I do, and the city of Magnema does appreciate what you did. You put yourselves on the line without being asked or required to. Would 200 gold apiece suffice for your band?
Let's call that a good start.
Ah,
And upon completion of others, perhaps you'll be more generous in the future.
Well, you have the job you're working on now, and I'm going to give you half for up front. If you complete that satisfactorily, we can see about future employment.
Fair enough.
All right, then he reaches down, picks up like little sack, a fairly large sack of gold, slides it over. That should cover both, along with the 8 gold you requested to cover your stay. That will be cut short.
Much appreciated. Is there anything else we can do for you?
No, just make your way to Turtleback Ferry and Fork Rennick, find out what the hell is going on there, and report back.
How much did we end up getting from him just now?
It was 1,000 gold for
The halfway. Oh no, 1,000 gold for what we've already done.
what you've already done, and then it was 1,500 gold apiece for the job, half paid up front. So that is 7,500. Half of that, 3,750. So 4,750 gold.
To make that slightly easier, should each of us go ahead and just give ourselves 200 right now so that Bill doesn't have to carry all of it, or do we not care?
Yeah, everyone's going to get 200 right now.
Okay, doing it.
All right, so in that case, Bill, you get the
3,950.
Yep.
Does this include me?
Yes.
Of course it does.
I had
You're not there, but
No, you can assume we'll give it to you next time we meet up with you. How's that? This is just so we all have enough money in our purses that we can do stuff when we need to.
It's 500. 200.
200.
Gold.
Yes.
and then he slides another piece of paper over. This should cover the cabin on the ship during your travels. I will make sure the captain knows to expect you and to set aside a pair of rooms for your group. You will want to make sure you're down at the docks tomorrow. The boat should leave about 9 or 10, so I'd probably get there slightly earlier than that in case he decides he wants to take off a little quicker. You want to make sure you're looking for the Minnow's Maw.
Minnow's Maw.
Yes. And Captain Sithreath will be expecting you. It is just the 5 of you, correct? Is there anybody else you would be bringing along?
Nope, it'll just be the 5 of us.
Perfect. He will be expecting. What was that?
We could ask if she wants to come. The old lady.
He will be expecting you. You'll have the cabins won't be lush, but at least you'll be able to rest during the trip.
Not with my plane.
Yeah.
Thankfully, you're not there, are you?
No,
She's not.
She's not.
Okay.
Can I just point out how hilarious it is to me that Justice Ironbriar was so willing to just sail over 200 gold per person for stuff that we just finished, but he haggled and hesitated over the 8 gold for the remainder of our stay. That was too much.
That was also before he knew that you guys were legit with what you had done.
Now we have a name.
What's her name?
I'm sorry, say again?
What's our name?
You said
No,
now
not-
you have a name.
Right.
Yeah.
Out of character, I was saying that we didn't have any credit. We had no street cred. We had no name. He had no idea who we are. But now that he's checked out our work, we have a name. We have cred. We have.
I know. I was just being a smartass because
He also
I
did
really
get
have a name.
this
Who even
evening.
are you, Lars?
Because we did get named the Hot Mess Express.
Who named us that?
Tammy.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't a genuine recommendation, but yes.
Oh, no. That's good.
It seemed fitting.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
I can't argue with it.
So
I don't know.
the justice perks his head up and asks if there's anything else that you need. Is there anything else you require from me before you head out tomorrow?
I don't believe so. Perhaps a heads up that if something does come up, I will be sending word back to you.
I look forward to it. Hopefully it is nothing more than a mistake or somebody getting upset at somebody else. I hope for everyone's sake it's something simple and you have made this trip for nothing.
In my experience, when we're involved, that's not usually the case. That's never been the case.
To summarize, have you met us?
Have you met me?
Bill was trying really hard to say, and most of the time it's not our fault.
Well, I guess I will send my prayers to Desna that this is different. But you're not filling me with hope.
That's not our job. Our job is to provide hope after there's already been a mess applied.
Well, good luck. Hopefully I'll hear from you in a week and a half, and it'll be nothing.
Until then,
Till then.
Tarnan does an about face, kind of ushers his group out.
Is the boat bringing us all the way back here?
Are you asking in character?
Yeah. How are we getting back here in a week and a half by this ship? Because you said the ferry doesn't come back for a couple weeks. But
The ferry will take you there. The ferry stays for a couple of days, and then it will come back. It just travels between Magnamar and Totalbeck Ferry, making stops along the way. The reason I said it wouldn't be back for a couple of weeks is because that's how long the journey takes. It takes about 7 to 10 days, depending on weather and stops, to get there, and about the same to get back. Right. Well, good luck on your travels. And then close the door behind you, please. And he goes back down to looking at his map.
So now Tarnan ushers this group out, shuts the door behind them, and down the hall they go.
Okay. Alright, then you end up leaving. What else? So since the boat is leaving tomorrow morning, is there anything in particular you guys would like to do between now and then?
Geisen is going to go back to the inn and work on his spell book.
Alright, well in that case, first time we get to do this. Alright, which spell are you doing first?
I'll start with the portend.
Alright, so in order to copy it down, you do have to roll, and there is a difficulty check. The higher the spell level, the more difficult it is. I need your spell casting ability. What is yours? Yours is Geisen. Remember which you use intelligence, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then give me an intelligence check. And the DC is always 10 plus the spell's level. So I need an intelligence check, and you have to beat 13. 13 or higher.
Uh, 20 altogether.
20? Oh, yeah. Then, yes, it takes you 6 hours and 150 gold, but you do manage to copy it down into your spellbook. Oh, yeah, because it's 3rd level. Yep, 6 hours and 150 gold. Alright. Is there another one you would like to do?
Well, there was, but I thought we were going to be here a couple days. I don't know if I want to do 12 hours straight of spell casting.
Do it. Sleep on a boat.
I guess I could.
Yeah, you can do it before you leave. You can do it during your travels along the boat as well. Totally your call.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I guess maybe I'll plan to do it on the boat then.
Okay. Then, is there anything else anybody else would like to do during this time? Any conversations, shopping, anything like that you would like to do?
I'll probably hang out in the common room by the fireplace for a while.
Okay.
I volunteer to get the horses on their way back to Sandpoint. Can I do that just at a normal, like at the stable that they're at? Can I arrange for that, or?
I would say yes. I would say, I mean, it will. It's not something the stable usually does, so it might cost a little bit more. But you can definitely pay them to have a few people escort the horses back. So there are 5 horses. They need to travel just over a day.
I also have a letter for them to deliver.
Okay. Why don't we? Nope.
Grella's letters are always heavy. Can we not do this, please?
No kidding.
With the
It doesn't concern y'all, all right?
I will say to get them
That's my
there,
opinion.
since it's going to be so many people, we'll say 6 gold. Because it's going to take a couple of people.
Alright, I have removed it from my sheet.
Okay. Then,
And
yep.
then, before I leave to do that, since we're all still here kind of talking, she'll let the group know that that's what her intent is, but then afterwards she does plan on trying the beer at... Sorry, my notes are not very organized. That place that I was told about that has really cool beers. The Kettle Whistle?
The Kettle Whistle?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's what I wrote down.
Alright.
And then, so if anyone wants to join her for that, that's her intent. But then before going, just to like get her day lined up so it's all done and out of the way, she will go have a massage for a gold from the All the Way In.
Nice. Alright.
And while she's there, she will actually teach the guy how to do a particular muscle thing that she likes because he doesn't know how to do it right.
Okay, then go ahead and take away the gold for that.
Done.
No, lad, you're doing it wrong. Put your fingers here.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, so I actually did play this out in my head before I didn't know how much detail you guys wanted. But basically, there's a point where he's trying to like reach a certain muscle, and she goes, no. So she gets up, and she has him lift the table as though it's a broadsword, because she's not going to let him use an axe. She's not going to let him use her axe. And then she like reaches down his back and like pushes a specific muscle, and she's like, that one, that's the one. Then we put the table back down, and then he can find it.
I can totally see that happening.
Yes.
Alright.
Did anyone want to join her for the beers at the Kettle Whistle?
What
I
time?
think you would join.
Or the massage.
After the horses, but before the massage. Massage can be late night, doesn't matter to her.
If it's after I'm done with my spell, I would join.
How about
Then
we
I would
attend-
say that's about a good time. Hour and a half to get the horses lined up and get back into 2 hours maybe? John?
Yeah, I'd say between all the walking and then the massage, and yeah, I'd say 2 hours is probably a good round number.
Okay.
I unfortunately have a few other things I need to attend to. I was going to suggest we do it tonight, like a meal before the morning trip, whatever, but I'll just meet you in the morning then. Say breakfast for... We need to be at the dock at what, 9, I believe you said? 9 bells?
I thought if you were leaving at 9 at the earliest.
9 to 10 was
So-
normally.
We need
So
to
I
be
thought
down
you
there by 9.
Be there a little earlier if possible.
Everyone be up and prepared to go. We'll meet for breakfast down in the common room, say 7 bells?
Sounds good.
Grelda
Very good.
repeats her offer for camping outside tonight if he would prefer to sleep outside the city.
Absolutely. Yes.
All right.
Meet you at the gate that we came into. 9 bells in the evening.
Can do. And Sean, I forgot one other thing that Grelda needed to do that'll cost money.
Yeah.
Probably the same stable that she did all of the other things. She's going to have to move that beer she's making from the room down to somewhere else that it can stay for another week or 2 weeks or whatever.
Okay.
So she's got to put the beer somewhere, and it can't come with them. So
Does Tarnan get whiff of this? Does he know about it?
I would say she doesn't bring it up until she gets to the stable. So unless he comes with to do the horses off, then no. Because she's already started the beer, so she can't just like stop it and then like
Right.
finish it later. So
All right. Since this isn't something they normally do, and you want him to find space for it for at least a week,
I would say she would rent a stall. That's the most likely place that they would have.
oh,
Unless there's like a back room or something they would have.
Rent
then
the room for a week.
what was that?
Or just rent the room for a week.
I would assume the room is more expensive. And we don't know when we're coming back for sure.
Also true.
All right, let me see. A stall for a week. They would charge you the same that it would cost a horse. So for a week's worth, let's say 3 gold.
Okay. I'll do that.
Okay. And he just
Done.
kind of like, and he ends up hanging like a sheet in front of the stall so that you can't see what's inside of it because he's still a little. You can tell the stall owner is still a little confused, but
Especially because
gold is
Grelda's
gold,
instructions-
so he doesn't really question it too much.
But Grelda's instructions are going to make him feel even more off kilter because she's going to say, you know, it's a young beer, so it's going to be very spirited. Don't worry if you hear strange noises. It shouldn't bite anyone. Just don't let anyone touch it. It's very, very like sensitive. And then she like pats it and whispers some things that he can't quite hear before she leaves it, and leaves a blanket over it.
He has one eyebrow raised and he has his head tilted to the side, not completely sure about you or what's in the stable, but it is a significant amount of coin, so he just kind of crosses his fingers and hopes it doesn't explode while you're gone.
If he mutters that under his breath, she says, "I hope so too," right before she walks away.
Oh.
All right. All right. So that is taken care of. Tarnan, you're going and doing your stuff.
Yep. And since he's got a lot of time, if he's going to make a stop at a certain grave,
Okay.
assuming there's no one following him, we'll just
Give me a perception check.
I hate it when Sean does that. Why would anyone be following? Why do I need this perception check?
23.
23. You don't notice anybody.
Okay.
To be
He
fair,
was-
you've gotten that if you'd rolled a 3 as well.
What was that?
Yeah, I mean,
He
I
would
could
have
roll-
no results if you'd rolled like a 3.
Yep.
You probably would not have noticed anybody.
correct. Only if I would have rolled a 30. Then I would have noticed God noticing you.
75.
Actually, it's potential if he rolled a 3 that he would notice everyone following him. Everyone in the city seems to be following you right
I
now.
don't understand how there's 12,000 people behind me.
In which case he wouldn't stop. So yeah, I mean, but let's just go with he doesn't notice anybody. And he says his piece. Tears are let, a ring is left on the stone, And you guys will never get to know what he actually said. And then he goes and picks up all those items.
Okay.
And then he will meet Grilda at the gate at 9 bells.
She will be bringing lots of beer.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Anyone else before we go to do the role play? What does Icky do all day?
Drink.
If you're gonna drink all day, knock off. Why don't we knock off? Well, if you're all day, let's knock off 5 gold for all the alcohol. Well, if he's gonna drink all day with how Icky drinks,
Especially if he's drinking at the Kettle Whistle, that's probably a pretty expensive place.
Okay.
I mean, he may have chosen to go to a cheaper bar first.
Well, no, I can't. Icky doesn't care about money. This British army?
Icky would either be drinking Hag's Venom, Centaur's Stagger, Fairy Fire, or Dancing Gin.
Fairy Fire tonight.
Did you say those again?
Hag's Venom.
Hmm?
Then it was Centaur's Stagger, Fairy Fire, and Dancing Gin.
Got him. Thanks.
Dancing Gin?
Dancing Gin, DJINNI, like a genie,
Oh.
a gin. Dancing Gin.
Dancing Gin.
Mhm.
It's a good name.
Did they have to come up with a good name to cover a poor beer?
Grelda can tell you that in like 10 minutes.
No, they're
Wow.
actually all. They're
Yeah.
actually. They weren't kidding when they told you it was like a high quality establishment. They're all good. Like they're all. None of them are swell. They're all very nice. Just different kinds of beer, different kinds of ale.
Okay.
And then if you guys, so 5 gold from Icky. How long is Grelda going to be there?
Well, Grelda is going to want to bring a sampling of each of these to hang out with my buddy tonight. So she's going to taste each of them and then take whatever a to-go pack of beer is.
Medieval growler.
A medieval growler of each. I don't know if that's just a half-filled water skin or like whatever that would be of each.
Yeah, if you're going to just take a taste and then take those to go, we'll say 1.5 gold. Or yeah, we'll do 2. 2 solid.
That's easier to get rid of anyway.
Yeah.
Because we'll assume I had a little bit to drink with my team while I was there as well, not just the tasting.
All right.
How much crap do the guards give Tarnan for standing there waiting at 9 bells with a whole with his saddlebags on his shoulder, his bedroll on the other shoulder?
I thought you guys were meeting
around.
at 7 in the common room.
In the morning.
No.
Oh,
At
that's
night.
you.
The outside, not staying in the inn anymore.
Mm-hmm. Standing outside. So where is he standing again? I'm sorry.
He goes to the outside of the gate and stands there to wait for her.
Because it depends on how long Tarnan's waiting for.
I guess we'll have
She-
to ask somebody else.
Yeah, she would not tally. Or Derek, what?
Dally.
Dally? Terry.
Dally.
She would not do either of those things, regardless of how you spell them.
Neither dilly nor dally.
Or Tilly nor
Tally.
Dally.
Ah, nice. If it was just like 15, 20 minutes, they would give him an eye, but they wouldn't give him too much trouble. If it started extending like beyond an hour. But just a little bit. It's not... For a
What's in
city
the
this
box?
big, it's not super uncommon. What was that?
What's in the box? Hey, what's in the box?
What's
What's in the box?
Your wife's head.
He did visit a grave, and out of character, I probably know which grave that was.
Do.
Okay. So then you guys meet outside the gate, right about 9 o'clock.
Grelda is also carrying all of her gear.
Okay. Is it
And
just the two of you,
let's just
or who
assume-
else is there?
I think it was. Yeah, I guess. Did anyone else want to join? I don't think it was intended to be like a secret assignation. Y'all are like bed, rocks, bed.
Eh. Icky's, you said he's going to stay at the end?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So Sunichi, obviously, it's a lot easier to get back from a long day of flute playing.
Yes, I'm sure that was quite winding.
Yeah, it really. And she has no idea that this meeting's happening.
That's right, she was already gone.
Yep, she was gone. And then
Grelda
Geisen.
would have left word with the others though, so when Sunichi came back, she could have known about it.
Alright, then is Geisen staying in the inn, or is he going out of town?
Yep, he's gonna stay at the end too.
Okay. Then Grelda, Tarnin, anything in particular? Before you go find a place to camp for the evening?
Walk a quarter mile away from the lights and noise and find a spot.
Okay. Easy enough to do.
No one chose to join you? Us?
No, just us.
No, fair enough. So what's your first impression of this town?
It seems horrible and I don't like it. But it has really good apothecaries.
It has its points, yeah. It's got a few people here and there that are definitely worth saving.
There are always people worth saving.
That's been beaten into my head a few times recently. Thank you for that.
She hands him a beer by way of apology. Slash non-apology. It's a non-apology beer.
Non-apology beer.
There you go.
Yep.
Best kind of beer.
Ontology, got it.
Before he's allowed to take a drink, she does regale him with all of the notes he's about to experience for the beer, the name of the beer, where it came from,
Oh, now.
and then she.
Above average.
Grelda's like, I know, they thought that was good.
Oh. Yeah. Then, to be more than perfectly honest, I would say dead average. This is, I mean, yeah.
I like you. Oh! She pulls out another beer. And does the same.
I know there's another one. It's you. Of course there's another one. Actually, I should... No, don't tell me. I was going to ask which one you favored, but I'd rather see which one I favor first and then ask you.
Grelda lights up like this is the best gift she's ever received.
So let's try the next one. That's all right. Is there a third?
Would you believe it? There is.
Excellent.
She is. I'm trying to not just bore everyone, but she would definitely be grilling you on like, can you taste this note? Do you notice any fruitiness? Like she's definitely like mentally taking notes about what you noticed from the beer.
On the first one, he'd be able to probably answer you back fairly well. On the second one, based on what he rolled, I really don't want to linger on that one too much, if you don't mind. And the
So
third
assume you
one,
have the third one now. Yeah.
ooh, the third one. This is really good. I wouldn't say the best beer in the world, but this is definitely 4 out of 5 stars. Maybe 4.5. What is that darker taste? Like, I don't know if darker is the right word. What is that? It's not like it's biting back. You know what I mean? It's something there.
It's coffee.
Interesting. I think I like that.
And then one more.
Okay, he rolled a 20.
Oh my.
I don't know why. But this
Best
one
year ever.
is perfect.
That one I believe is the gin, by the way. I'm keeping track of which one I'm pretending you're drinking. So I think you like the alcohol content of that one would be my guess.
Yes, I am more partial to the bourbons and whatnot. So this has, yes, this one has it. Whatever it is, this is it.
Would you say it's the juniper berry?
I want this.
I believe I know what juniper berry is, and I'm quite sure what it tastes like after it's been processed. So yeah, yes, I think it is.
So now that you're nice and toasted, and we have sampled all of the stuff that I brought in from town, yeah, we are both quite happy, feeling no pain. Is there anything that you'd like to talk about, or no pressure?
Oh, I don't know. There's so many things. You group this. It's like they're all like all of you, and I don't mean to talk about you as if you weren't here, but sometimes that's easier for me to spit it out. Does that make sense?
Everything makes sense right now. The universe
Excellent.
aligned.
Yes, it's almost like, see, I have seen worlds beyond this woman, and I've pulled souls back into bodies, and I have brought life force from one and put it into another. And it's like you guys were just, this group just happened to be at the right place at the right time for, I mean, it's like she's trying to tell me I have to be on this path. And then the help would show up. And then there all you guys are. But I can't be who I am. I have to be who I was meant to be. Well, who the hell am I supposed to be? I thought it was me. Am I not me?
So just so you know, all this talk about like going to other realms and like pulling people's souls, Geralda assumes this is one giant metaphor. She still assumes you cannot do magic. I just want you to be aware that that's where her brain is right now. So she's like, yeah, same.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
too?
I love it. I love it.
You can do these.
That's how I feel when I'm making beer. You take in all these individual components, and it's like you're somewhere else.
Huh. Well, that's
And
not so bad.
no one can tell you who you are and who you aren't, except you. And we can find out who that is together.
Oh, that's an undertaking.
I'm very strong.
Yes, you are.
Yes, I am. And she hands him some more beer.
Which she consumes happily. That's one of the things I like about you is most of the time I worry about those that get close to me being hurt or worse. And with you and most of the rest, I mean, I'm still trying to figure out, our little guy. He's strong in other ways. But the rest of the group just seems strong and sturdy. And we all look up for Geisen. And then Geisen turns around. He's like imagine if you made a cannon at the glassworks. It's got the capability of doing so much potential damage or a release of energy.
But I could smash it.
Yeah. It's kind of scary.
That's deep. You have some more beer?
Thanks.
I'm glad Geisen isn't actually around because this conversation is a little painful.
It
It's mean.
I mean, it's a good drunk conversation. I think I've had this conversation. I'll smash
Probably.
it.
I wouldn't smash Geisen though. I like him.
I like him too. We definitely got to keep him around.
And that bird. I love that owl bird.
There. That bird. Oh, that bird! I thought you. I was like the red one, the big tall one, Icky.
Is he a bird?
He is a bird, isn't he? A bird? I mean, he flies like a bird.
I thought he was an Arkukra.
Kokra.
You're saying it wrong. It's pronounced Arakokra.
It's pronounced bird.
Arakokra.
Yes. Are you trying to get me drunk?
No, I succeeded in getting you drunk.
And so you have.
I didn't even have to roll for it. It just worked.
Clearly, I've let my guard down around you. And I'm not sure how I feel about that.
That's okay. I'll guard us both.
Oh. Well, that seems reasonable. I think.
I've got a big axe, and I'm very strong.
I do like your axe. Yes.
Oh my.
And I get to inherit her if something untoward should happen to you.
You will take care of her if something bad. It'll be fine. She'll take care of you.
I meant to ask. See, that was the reason I had to ask. Your wishes are for me to take care of her, but if I'm following what I think your wishes are, I would return her to your clan. Is that not where she belong? Or does she belong with us?
She belongs with the team. The beer making stuff goes to the clan. The axe goes with the team.
And so it'll be.
And just like any team member, if you take care of her, she'll take care of you.
I'm just like waiting for you guys to start bawling on each other's shoulders and like, I love you, man. I feel like that's where this goes next.
I was trying to get to that point. I'm not sure how to transition. Well,
You're drunk. There is no transition. It just
Robert doesn't do strong emotions well. It may not be doable.
oh.
No, I was gonna say, like, the guys who do that the most are the ones who don't do strong emotions well.
Yes, that's true. So anytime she's going to bust down, and Tarna's going to be going,
Except she's like an Olympic pro at this whole drinking thing, so she's a lot less drunk than you are.
Yeah. No, I was more. Yeah, that's true.
not fair. I'm sorry, say again.
Is this like a Legolas versus Gimli drinking contest?
Except in this case, it's the other way around.
Clearly.
Unless half elves have an advantage on drinking checks.
Not that I'm aware of.
Not that I'm aware of.
All right.
What was I going to say? Damn it. Why did you leave? Why didn't you just say it to my face? What you felt?
I did say it to your face.
No, you said it in a letter.
Before that, when we were outside of the dude's manor, with the monsters with the no face. See, now me not knowing people's names makes sense because I seem to be drunk. But Foxglove Manor. I pulled you aside and I said I didn't like the way things were going.
Right, but that was mostly talking about how I was treating Icky, which you were right on. Look, I'm trying to change because reasons. It'll take more than the beer to get to those reasons.
Whenever you're ready.
But that's beside the point, because I got the proverbial kick in the butt to want the change and to realize that I'm being pushed towards that change, and it's actually a good thing. It's But it's only been a couple of weeks. Oh my god, I've only known you for like 3 weeks.
You're like my brother. I would die for you. I did die for you. And then you brought me back.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of a thing I do. But
Just kind of.
That's so deep, bro.
okay,
It was funny because when Grelda died, it was actually before he had magic stuff, so it was a traditional bringing back from death that she experienced. So she assumes that's what he does for everyone.
Well, she was dying. She didn't actually die.
I guess. So.
yeah. What? Way to ruin it, DM.
I know. Stupid
I
facts.
felt very dead. I was on my way to the death. He's only mostly dead.
Exactly. This is a great idea. I'm glad I got a lot of this off my chest.
I'm glad that you know that you want to do the things to be the better. She's still a little drunk.
But to get, I mean, it's more time. I'm still figuring this out. Look, I've been good at being dark and shadow since this hall, and now I'm trying to be the light, and it's still covered in shadow. Does that make sense? And you know what? I'm gonna shut up.
You don't have to be a priest. There's gray between the dark and the light. You can be in the gray.
Ooh, but I thought I was in the gray, and you still went away.
You are in the dark gray. You need to be in the light gray.
How many shades of gray are there? Like 50?
50 sounds good. That's a good number.
I think
I
it's a trilogy
quit.
at this
I
point.
quit.
I hate you all.
Okay, this is enough talk about gray. I'll work on this much, and we'll have another one of these conversations with less beer at some point and see if I can still talk about it.
Okay. I'll take first watch. You look like you could sleep.
I could sleep. You're gonna be here in the morning.
I'm gonna be here in the morning.
Okay. Good night, Rhoda. I'm
Good night,
very
Tom.
glad you didn't leave.
I'm glad I didn't leave too.
Oh! I have something for you. Actually, I have something for everyone. Do you want it now or tomorrow?
Geralda is visibly like leaping at the thought of there being something that she could have now or later, but now is an option, and why would she not choose now? Do you think I should wait?
Well, it's yours. I just haven't given it to you yet, so it's really up to you.
I think I should have it now then. What if
Okay.
I need it? What if it's important?
It could be important. It could be very comforting.
Ooh.
So he goes into it and pulls out a well-wrapped object with a bow on it. It's a green ribbon bow. And should I present it or just let you open it?
I should open it.
Very good. Here you go. And he hands it over and he sits back and
She
he's like,
takes it. And she sits down, she's like a little kid, and she's like, she picks it up, she shakes it.
nope, doesn't rattle.
Okay. She like, is it in a box or is it like a squishy thing?
Sean, is it in a box or a squishy thing?
Probably in a bag.
Okay, it's in a bag wrapped up to be a squishy thing with a
Okay,
bow
so
on
she
it.
squishes it.
It's it feels like it's probably cloth.
Okay, she smells it.
Probably smells lightly of lavender and silkworms.
Last one's a little disturbing, but okie dokie. So she very carefully like undoes the ribbon and like sets it aside. Is there like a tissue paper like substance in there? Like
I would imagine so.
she rips that out like it's nothing. So the bow got a special treatment and the whatever just got thrown away.
I
And then she
remember
pulls
that.
out whatever the item is.
It unfolds and it is a beautiful, well, in Tarn's opinion, it's a beautiful silk robe and some lavender soap, and it's green to match the shade of her eyes. And I said, I figure you got the stuff for the hair, but what are you gonna do after you do the hair? So now you've got the soap to go with the hair stuff and a silk robe to lounge in afterwards. And it's because I like the color of your eyes. I mean, it matches the color of your eyes. That's what I meant, I think.
So she's still holding it up, and she's not looking. And she's kind of sits there for like an uncomfortable silence length of time, and then like very, very carefully, like real small, says thank you, and then like just really gently, like carefully, like folds it back away without like meeting your eyes or anything.
Alcohol. Tarn doesn't seem to notice that it's the avoidance of eyes. It seems pretty natural. You are welcome.
It's beautiful.
I'm glad.
And she like smells. She holds one of the bars of soap and like smells it, you know, like surreptitiously.
It's because I heard you talking about lavender and you like that scent, right? I hope that's right.
I do, yes.
Okay, good. Fantastic. I would talk more, but everything's closing in.
Good night, Tarn.
Yes, it is. And good night. And Tarnan pretty much lays down and without much more than a couple of mumbles, falls asleep. You have successively drank him under the table.
So Grelda has watched.
I hope so.
She does.
Okay.
All right. So you guys will wake up in the morning. The three, Icky, Geisen, and Sanishi wake up in their rooms, and Tarnan and Grelda wake up in their tent. And the day is yours.
So we woke up earlier because we don't need a full night's rest because I'm plenty ragey. And then we make sure we're back in time to meet everyone in the common room at the time we said.
If you don't, just you know, in game, if you don't get if you go more than 24 hours of the long rest, you start taking exhaustion points.
Yep.
So you don't need a full night's rest, but you're gonna start being exhausted because you're not actually getting a full night's sleep.
Do we have enough time to get a full night's rest by the time we said we'd meet? Oh, okay.
If you met at 9 and went out, I mean, you said you wanted to meet him at 7, so as long as you went to bed by about 11.
Okay. I would have definitely started plying him with beer really, really soon, so I think that timeline works.
Sure.
Okay. So then I'm assuming you head back in and meet them at the inn at 7?
Yes.
Do you have a hangover, Tarnan?
That is a definite possibility. I'd say probably. Yeah. Oh no, he got lucky. I feel surprisingly well, considering how much I drank last night. Holy crap! I slept through my watch. Are you okay? Oh, I'm such an ass. I apologize. Oh. We should go.
It's fine. We should go.
Okay. What was the name of the bear again? Jin's Juniper Berry.
Dancing Gin is the one that you liked the most, but Fairy Fire was the beer you liked the most. With the coffee.
Fair enough. Okay. All right, let's go get on a boat.
For the record, the Centaur Stagger is the one that you couldn't really detect any flavors in, and I think it's because they used real centaurs when they made it. Not recommended.
You're joking.
Am I though? And then we just like keep going.
Isn't centaur hoof like scraped
The
up?
hoof pairings.
Yeah.
All right, then you all meet up at 7. Is there anything you want to do prior to heading down to the docks?
Yeah, I'm gonna let Granny know that I won't be having a lesson today.
All right. Well, you did tell her ahead of time, so she would be expecting.
This is a day early.
What was that?
This is a day early.
Yeah,
And
that's why I was. That's why
That we were
Tyler was-
leaving a day early until I got back to the hotel to talk to these people.
You initially. It's earlier in the day, but it's 2 days. This is the second day since you had started training.
Okay.
So it is earlier in the day, but this is still the second day after that.
Okay. I still want to go say, goodbye. Have breakfast there because, there's no way Turtle Bay or any the port is going to have blood sausage that fucking good.
All right, then when you're there, you do talk to her, let her know you're leaving. Well, here's the book I made for you. Go ahead, take it. It's got notes for you to practice, songs for you to regale your group with, and they should love it. Just make sure you don't take any breaks. Make sure you play over and over and over again. That's the only way to get better.
Will do. Thank you so much. Give her a big hug. And
Of
I love
course.
and hate her.
What was that?
I love and hate her now.
I can't. Nick, when you come back by, make sure you stop in. I can't wait to see how good you've gotten.
wild horses wouldn't be able to stop me.
They wouldn't be able to stop you in the first place.
Your friend has a point.
Oh, did we all go to brunch at the yummy place? Or breakfast, early breakfast?
I had made the assumption that everybody did go together.
Okay. Which makes sense, because,
Especially if it's on the way to the docks.
best brunch in town.
Okay, so that being said, if we're all in the same spot, Tarnan will say, oh, as long as we're all together real quick, I'd like to hand out a few things. This is kind of awkward. It was a lot easier last night when I'd had a few drinks. Anyway, I want to show some appreciation, and I don't know how to do it very well. So I went out and got things that I thought you might enjoy. Grilled, I already gave you yours. Sanichi, I know this is new to you and whatnot, but he pulls out a case. This is for your flute. It is airtight, watertight, and really solid. So when, occasionally things slam into you, your flute should be well protected. Oh, and it also floats. It also floats. Should you happen to fall in the water, it'll float. You'll be able to find it.
Thank you.
No, thank you for being patient. Well, you all met me at a very interesting point in my existence, and I'm still figuring out a few things. And you've been very tolerant of my occasional offshoots. So, thank you. Icky, I didn't know what else to get you really. So I noticed how sometimes and he pulls out what probably looks like a misshapen mug to everybody else. But when you put it in your hand, it fits your claws beautifully. No, you don't have to actually hold onto the handle. It kind of fits right into your claw as if it was designed for your claw to go around it and sit naturally. And the mouth itself is stretched out to fit your beak better. And it is also made of fairly solid material, so that should somebody bump into it, it'll not break.
It's amazing. Thank you.
I'm glad you like it. Geisen, I didn't know what to get you, but I do know that proper mages, and I'll have that discussion with all of you on the boat around less ears. Proper mages actually study for their spells. That being said, here is 50 gold of the best ink and paper I could find on short notice.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you. I would definitely put that to good use.
I know you will. But yeah, if everyone's ready, let's go have another adventure, huh?
That wasn't a battle. You don't get that music.
Oh.
Instead, we need to do a rousing tumbleweed.
No. I deny this false prophecy.
All right, then you head down to the docks. There are a couple of ships that you see docked. They're definitely seafaring vessels. So as you move down, you finally see a longer flat boat that you can all tell is obviously designed for river travel as opposed to sea travel. And then on the side of it, you do see Minnow's Maw. There is a kind of a wide plank going up that people are bringing crates and barrels of stuff up on it. And there is a tall male tiefling, right about middle-aged, dark red skin, long black hair, and he seems to be directing everybody as they come on.
Okay. He doesn't look like he's wearing a captain's hat or a captain's pin, does he?
He is not wearing a hat or a pin, no. He seems to be the one that is, like I said, he seems to be the one directing people as they come on.
Does the boat itself say Minnow's Maw on it?
Yes.
Hail, permission to come aboard.
Just kind of turns and looks at you, starts looking over the group. I did hear that I would have some official passengers coming on. Do you have something for me?
Holds up the paper. If you're referring to this note, then yes.
All right, he rages out his hand. Takes a look at it, looks it over, hands it back to you, and then the ship, it's long and flat. There is a raise. There's like a on top of the deck, there's like a second floor that kind of stretches across it. And he kind of points down towards the end. I did have 2 cabins set aside for you, since with the official passengers, they only have hammocks on them, so I hope that'll be all right. It's what we all sleep on. It should only be in 9 days or so it shouldn't be too bad.
That works. My name is Tarnan, and you are...
I am Captain Sithreath. This is my vessel.
Excellent. Good to meet you.
You as well. As long as you keep yourselves well behaved during our trip, it will be fantastic.
You won't even know I'm here.
Oh, Sunishi, first thing you do is meet him and lie to him? He smiles and walks away.
Mm-hmm. All right, then you all end up going on the boat. You find your cabin. There is 2 rooms. One room they both have 3 hammocks in them, and they are right next to each other on like kind of the second level towards the back of the ship.
Look at us all back in the boat and stuff.
What was that?
So, what's your...
Garla takes the lower bunk.
Really?
The lower hammock.
Yeah.
I'm totally gonna get up on top, like, it's the one over here, probably.
Garla is already looking green around the gills. Like, she looked at trepidation
no.
as she got onto the ship. She is very not happy about not being on solid ground. She has said nothing at all since she saw the ship. And, like, she basically acts like she's trying to die when she curls into the hammock.
All right. So it is. You are told once you start getting underway that it will be about 3 days travel to Wardle, which is the first stop they're going to make. So if you guys have anything you would like to do during 3 days other than sleep and then eat during when the 3 meals are brought out.
Second day out. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, everyone else.
I'm fluting. I'm practicing.
Are you fluting in the same room as me in my bucket that smells bad?
Oh.
No. No, I.
All right.
You and
Then Sanishi, give me 3 performance checks, 1 for each day.
I'll also use my 3 20s.
Ooh.
Ooh, okay, and so I have 10, 5, and 20.
All right. So you're the first day. You're. I mean, you're right about where you were when you left. Like the last time you guys heard her play, she misses a couple of notes, but it's relatively the same. And you don't know if it's just being on the water or whatever. But the second day, it's like you take a step back, and then the third day, you definitely. Everybody begins hearing the notes, and you like immediately start trying to cover your ears, but you do notice that it sounds significantly better. So you are making progress as the days go along.
This role is actually giving me flashbacks to when I learned how to play the violin.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one wanted to be around for that either.
Yeah. Did she have to field any death threats during this time?
There were some, especially on the second day, there were some dirty looks and a lot of avoidance.
When I noticed the dirty looks, I just kind of like nudged the drum threateningly. Like
It could be so much worse.
He's so much worse.
All right.
So,
Icky, did you want to?
so by the third day, Icky would have approached Taran, just to be like, so hey, I know that being in that city was hard. Are you feeling better the further we get from it?
Actually, I am.
It's good.
Yes.
Is there anything that any of us can do to help that feeling, or do you just need the space from the city?
He puts a hand on Icky's shoulder and says, I think I'm getting along, and it's because you guys are just being there. You know what I mean? It means more than you probably realize.
I think I understand. It's
Can I ask you a question?
of course.
I mean, I didn't mean to interrupt. If you got something you want to say before.
We've all been. Every single one of us seems to have something that's weighing heavily on us, and I know that Magnamar itself seemed to weigh very heavily on you, and I'm glad that we're getting away from that weight for you.
I'm going to try to say it out loud. That fucking city took my family from me. It wasn't directly responsible for my mother and father, but they're gone. My grandfather died in that city. Pretty close to the clock tower, actually. And on the night I was to be betrothed, it stole away my fiancée. And that's something that I'm still working on.
Taran, I'm sorry I didn't know.
Of course not. I never let people in about that. I'm working on that too. That's one of the things I had to do on my own, is go see her grave and say goodbye.
Well, I hope that I understand the feeling of having a place that was so formative to you turn its back on you and try to destroy you.
That's it exactly. Yes.
I'm sorry that you had to go through that, and I'm sorry that we brought you back to that pain. But I'm glad that it sounds like you were able to face it. Does it feel better for having faced it? Did you, or did we just drag you through hell for nothing?
I'm working on that. To give you an honest answer, we're talking about it, and every second, right now, we're moving farther away from that city, but I'm still just talking to you about it. I can feel myself knotted inside. But I'm more at peace now than I was before we went to the city. And it is in part because of this group.
I think I understand. We do seem to all have our own burdens to bear, and bearing them together seems to lighten it for all of us, and I appreciate that.
Are you willing to share your burden yet?
I suppose so. And so, like Icky will go into the general. I know and I'm sorry, just totally out of character now. Do you remember the shit? Because I know I've explained pieces of Icky's backstory before. Do you recall them?
Bits and pieces of it, yes.
Okay. Because I don't know what I need to re-explain versus just being like, okay, Tarnin knows now.
So, just for the sake of storyline, give us the.
All right. So the basis is in Icky's old, tribe, I guess, of the Arakokra out in the mountain monks. I ended up coming across a pool of angry water because anger water is the best name for it. As everybody was investigating it, it started to take hold of people. As it started to take hold of me, I fought it back. I didn't let the murderous rage overtake me, but it overtook just about everybody else around me, and I was the only survivor. And then was as I made my way back to the to my tribe, my people, I was blamed for that whole event and ostracized. I was kicked out. So that's why I've been wandering, and I still feel very responsible for that whole event. It's had I not come across that water, had I been strong enough to be able to stop my people from killing each other, but no, it was because I instigated that anger, that hatred, that killing, all of this, the 7-pointed star carvings feel very, very personal. It's once again my presence is causing murder and anger. hatred, and I can't stop it.
Tarnan will say, what makes you so sure that you could have stopped it? What makes you so sure that you weren't supposed to be on this path? Recently, things have lined up, and I've been kind of icky. You know how I have seen other realms, other worlds. How do you know they're not playing us into working towards something greater? And you had to go through that. It's not your fault. I mean, what makes you so sure? How are you? Look, I don't have all the answers, but I am curious as to why you think that there's no other answer other than it has to be your fault.
I didn't think that it was my fault at first, but then just the more that I've experienced, the further we go, the more people we interact with, the more violence we see, and these people seem to think that I'm important to it. They do it in my name, and it's, how can it not be connected to me? I don't know these people. I don't know their faces, and they know mine. And when they see my face, they feel justified in murder. How am I supposed to feel differently?
I wish I had a solid answer for you, my brother. But I have no problem walking this path with you until we have something of an answer. Even if it is just to verify what you already believe. I'll walk that path with you.
Thank you. This is because that's if this has taught me anything, it's that it's a path that needs to be walked to see where it ends. And I'm very grateful to have compatriots like you to see it to the end.
Of course. I just ask that you have patience with me once in a while when I forget that this is really your story too.
And likewise, thank you.
Hey, how do you think the rest of the group would react if I told them the things that you already know about me?
Honestly,
Please.
I think that they would at
Run
this
like hell?
point, likely not be surprised. I think that they would understand and embrace you further, honestly. Because we're all compromised in some way and wrapped up in this murderous nonsense. And we're all just trying to make the world a better place for ourselves and the people that we care about. I think that everybody we've been traveling with would understand what you're going through if you would just explain it to them.
Good, because I really want to not have that secret anymore. I want it to, at least this group, this family that I claim to lead, I want to not have to hide it from them. I want them to know who I am and what I deal with, or perhaps what they're dealing with when they're dealing with me. Does that sound right?
It does. I think that the more I travel with everybody, the more I get to know all of you, I think that the more open that we can be with each other, the stronger we'll all be. Especially with all of us closing ourselves off, fighting our own battles. We almost lost Grelda. And I think opening ourselves up to each other is going to be the only way that we can get through all of this, you know?
You're right. I believe you're right. And before I back out again, I think we should go get the rest of the group, and I will tell them, and you can hold me to it in whatever way you seem fit to make me answer their questions as well, because I imagine they'll have questions.
I'll do that happily, and the same to you. We shouldn't be hiding ourselves from each other. It's dangerous at this point.
And everything inside me tells me it's dangerous to tell you people. Everything that I was tells me that we need to go get the people before I back out of this. I'll sit here. Go get everyone.
All right. So like Icky goes, and whoever's sleeping out doing their own thing gathers everybody up. He's like, "Hey, we need to talk with Tarnan. Tarnan has something he needs to say."
All right,
This is
since that's gonna happen on the third day, the only person who hasn't gone yet is Geisen. So we'll have Geisen cover the days leading up to that, and then we'll jump into that.
Cool.
I just wanted to do another spell.
Just one more? Okay. What level is it?
2
2? All right. Which spell is it? Just so I know.
Arcane Lock.
Oh, okay. All right. Then give me an intelligence check.
Uh, 15.
15? Okay. Yep, that passes. So it would take you 4 hours and then 100 gold of what you have. And then that gets added into your spellbook as well.
And we have more days after the stop, right? It's like a week or 2 week journey or something.
You were told it would be about 9 altogether.
Alright, so yeah, I'm good with that one for now.
Okay, is there anything else you want to do over those days?
I don't think so.
Okay, then we can jump forward to Icky grabbing everybody.
Right. Icky grabs everybody, says, "Hey, Tarnan has a thing. Tarnan wants to say a thing. Tarnan, a thing."
Everyone shows up in the guy's room. Tarnan closes up the door, makes it as private as possible, and he turns around and he's just kind of wringing his hands. You probably have never seen him nervous before. At least not like this. Thank you, Icky.
Licky?
Icky. Not knowing how to start, I felt that I needed to be more open and honest. I'm trying to be the light instead of the monster. Everyone remembers me. I'm the monster. Well, the reason I felt that way is I can honestly tell you that I work with something that's outside of this realm. I don't serve it, but neither does it serve me. And I've told Geisen, And he doesn't think it's a threat. It's just something different, something more. Sanishi, I apologize for lying to you. Every time that I send you a message, I'm not throwing my voice. I am bending some... It's a type of magic, but it's not like the magic that Geisen has. It's just an ability. It's a gift.
So, like throwing your voice. It's an ability, a gift, something you had to train and learn.
No, I didn't train. I was simply given the ability to do it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, it is awesome. It is awesome.
It's helpful.
It
It's
is helpful. Like this, for example. And Tarnicast mirror image, and 2 images of him just kind of show up and walk around behind you in the room.
The real one's that one. I point at you.
You're wrong. Well, actually, roll a d20 if you really want to determine if you're right.
Well, I point to the one I had been talking to, assuming that you had not moved.
The one next to you, the one on your left says, no, I'm over here. But that's okay. And then I cancel it so the other 2 disappear.
Whoa.
You
were... That's cool.
You're okay with that?
Why wouldn't I be? That seems helpful.
Because it's
If
not,
it's attacking me, we can maybe get it to attack you instead. If something's attacking Geisen, you could possibly protect him.
yes,
Or at least take a hit. That's fucking awesome!
it is. And that's kind of its intent. But my concern was not its use. My concern was it's not a magic that I learned like Geisen would learn. It's just a thing that's been given to me. And Tarnan pauses because Grelda was saying something.
Oh, just like she leans over to Icky and she's like, "You saw that, right? There were 3."
And like Icky just like, yep, the
That makes sense because she's been
motion
vomiting.
gives a 3 motion and moves a bit.
That's all you're gonna get out of Grelda for right now.
And then it's not wizard magic. It's not trained. It comes from a creature of fire and wings, a massive bird of flame. Has anyone heard of a phoenix before?
Do we need to roll to find out if we've heard of a phoenix before?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I think it's pretty common.
Okay.
A phoenix the size of a Grand Canyon. It's
Icky scoffs at you.
scoff.
Kuskoffs.
And there's more. I mean, Geisen doesn't think it's a bad thing, even though I was concerned that coming from something that wasn't normal magic, it was a dark, evil. Well, not evil, because she's not. In fact, she's one of the reasons I'm being drugged. She's dragging me into the light. I can't. I have to be better if I want to continue to have the blessings she gives. And I do want that. Which is why I have to tell you about it. Because I'm going to keep those blessings, and if you're not comfortable with me having them, then I need to let you know so you can choose to leave. Not that I want you to leave.
Some people can go berserk. Some people write with their left hands. Some
people can play a flute in 2 days. That okay.
5 now. I actually am keeping track. like my days with a trainer and without a trainer.
Nice.
So does it look like everyone in the group is comfortable with this? Does all the characters look comfortable?
So Grilda, oh, go ahead. Do yours.
I have a little bit of uncomfort because I don't really get why you had a problem with this.
Okay. What about Geisen?
And if I remember correctly, you told me all this already.
Right.
Yeah,
so you
Geisen
look,
was already aware of the vast
Okay.
majority of it.
and he doesn't look like he changed his mind. And Icky, you seem comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And Grelda,
So Grilda like takes a minute because she's not at her best, but she's like, so you do magic.
yes, I do magic. It's not magic. It's a gift. It's not really magic like Geisen does. It's just
So
like
so it's like
claw me. Icky, claw me.
I take a moment, but on the second prompt for claw, I can claw him.
All right.
I heal it. I don't know where that life energy comes from to heal it. But she gives it to me.
Well, so it comes from her.
I hope so.
How is that hard?
Because she's not a god.
It didn't come from me.
That's fair. That's fair.
There are powerful beings other than gods.
Oh, I know. I have seen what Icky's god looks like when I pulled his soul back into his body, and that was pretty freaky, let me tell you.
Claw?
Icky almost died. Never mind. Twice. Twice. But that's... Yeah, that many. Let's go with that.
125.
Tarnan looks relieved on a level that he almost looks giddy now. Yeah, so you guys are all cool with this. And no one's gonna run away screaming, no one's gonna chop me up for being a monster in the middle of my sleep.
Because
in order to like make it like try and like draw some parallels, she's like, so we like that Geisen makes beer and he makes his beer with barley, and now you're telling me that you make beer but you make it with rye, and you're worried I'm not gonna like two kinds of beer?
No, see, I make my beer with air. And it works
I
just
try
like...
every beer.
I thought you aerated wine. Now I'm
And now I want to make an aerated beer now. You've basically blown my mind. I'm gonna do this thing.
Get blown mind. Aerated beer.
I see what you did there.
I love you guys. And hate you at the same time. It's this wonderful, mixed up, unsure ball of...
Family?
Yeah, yes.
That's. I'm gonna go ahead and categorize that under good things.
Me too. Definitely.
I just want to point out that I don't think you had to worry nearly so much about telling everybody. I think the only thing you could do to really make Sanishi upset with you is if you were going to reveal that you have, like, goblin blood or something.
Yeah.
You should
You're right.
definitely hide that and never say it.
All this growth.
I won't tell her
I
that.
would have undone all of it.
I mean, everyone else thinks it's the half-elf ears. It's elf ears, right? And it's... Oh god, Icky, I was joking, but maybe you should stand in front of me.
I'm okay. I know that was true.
Okay. Otherwise, I'll use that air beer magic to mess with your mind. I don't do that to anyone else.
My fingers or my breath. Or my axes.
Okay. Cool.
My flute. Or my drum.
This went much better than I thought. And no one has questions about it?
No, you and I have talked enough about this. I don't have any questions.
I've met people who have dyed their hair before. I don't see how this is. You were born with blonde hair. You wanted it a different way. Dude, I should have whatever.
I really like how you put things sometimes, Inishi. It's really good. Sometimes you just ground me the right way. Just like a big, annoying sister.
Oh, I was gonna say maybe like a bard.
Just like a big, annoying bard. Yeah, I can go there. Yeah.
Dude.
That's all I had. Feel free to ask me questions about it if something comes up later.
Well, frankly, the only question I have right now, Crowley, you've been puking literally for 3 days. Should we get you off this boat for a little bit and maybe try to get some water into you? How are you feeling? Bread?
I'm great. I stopped eating the second day, so now there's nothing left to puke.
I would disagree, having been sharing a room with you. You're bringing something up that's not pleasant smelling.
We can't stop the boat till the boat stops.
Well, we're at the dock right now, so we could literally take you off for a little bit.
Not yet.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say, yeah, I don't think we're on dock yet.
No, actually, right about the time that your conversation starts winding down, there is a knock at the cabin door.
Okay, yeah, because we were coming up to Wardell, or at Wardell.
Go away, group session. No, just kidding. Come in.
The door opens and the captain just kind of leans his head in. We should be docking at Wardell in about 20 minutes. We're gonna stay docked for a couple hours to drop off some things and pick up some things. If you need anything, if you end up going into town, you have until we leave. We're not staying longer than that. Just wanted to let you know. And then just kind of closes the door behind him.
Thank God. It's like she heard me.
Oh. I guess since we're sharing and bearing all. Well, not all, but anyway. In Magnamar, I was acting like a bit of an ass because that town took a lot of my family. And the big takeaway, I think, is that on the night that I was to be married, my fiance was taken from me, and there was a search for her, and it ended up, short version, she was murdered in front of me, and I never found the man who did it. And part of the darkness that still has a hold of me is the desire to find that man and break him into small pieces and play in his innards. I tried very hard to say goodbye in Magnamar, and I think I've made progress, in large part to all of you in your own way. Thank you for your patience. And if I seem distant at times over it, feel free to pull me out. Ask me about it.
Will you let us help you find this man so that you can tear him into small pieces? Or her?
As long as I get to finish him. Yes.
I'll
And
do
as
my
long
best.
as... You get a hug. a gripping.
Relda joins the hug. Group hug.
Oh, there will be so much blood.
Blood hug!
Blood hug.
God, hug.
Enough blood for Tanishi to bathe in it?
Yes, but I'll be doing the bathing. And it's just like Tarna's reaching around trying to find where the hell Geison's head is and pulls him in.
The bird's just out there like, what the fuck? Humanoids.
Cool. All right. Oh, and I'm horribly scarred, and I won't show you about it. Bye. And he goes off the boat.
All right, so you guys do dock and Wardle for a couple hours, and it is about 10:20, so it probably is a good place to stop, and then we can pick up on the Whistledown as the next stop, and it'll be another 2 days to get there, and that's where we'll pick up next time.